So we just got done watching Ben Shapiro go over TikTokers who are freaking out over this whole ICE killing people thing. You know, it's just like needlessly fearful of the threat of death at any moment from these animals. You know, Matt Walsh, I think we got to give him some attention as well, because he has some things to say about this Somali woman who apparently fabricated an ICE arrest horror story on the spot. And that could be true. You know, it's entirely possible that she just made shit up. I wouldn't put it past, you know, an average person, regardless of who they are. But let's just see, because I'm more inclined to believe her than I am to believe Matt at this point in time. I don't even know her. It's simply because I don't like Matt Walsh and his vibes are off. But we'll just see. We'll see how credible her story sounds, and if we need to verify anything, then perhaps we can.
So I love the Band-Aid there too. I love how she's got it's like a nice touch, the cartoonish band. Look.
We had to, by the way, pause, I noticed, on the mid-speech. I'm not saying that I'm above doing this for like thumbnails and shit. But it is very obvious what you did here.
The cartoonish band, look like a Band-Aid that a cartoon character wears. You know,
what is this, like, scratchy? I hate this. I hate this so much. I feel like I need a new screen if I like this is bad. You don't want this. It looks terrible.
And the bump grows on their head, you know, and there's stars around their head. I guarantee you take that Band-Aid off and there's nothing under there. CBS News reports Nazra Ahmed came to the podium in the Minnesota State Capitol press briefing room on Wednesday with bandages still on her head, explaining it was hard to speak given the concussion that the American, quote unquote, said she sustained thanks to ICE. I got kidnapped by ICE, Ahmed said.
How do you know she's not American? You're literally just profiling her, brother.
The story, Nazra Ahmed says she was kidnapped by ICE, but it doesn't stop there. They actually, they assaulted her. And they started yelling racial slurs at her, she says. Here she is telling her sob story.
We're following these two men, and I was waiting for these two men to hold the door for me. And I told them, hey, can you hold the door for me? And I walked right in the middle. And when I was in the middle, ICE came. They came out of their cars. They asked me to see my ID. And while they were asking me to see the ID, they just decided it was nice to be racist and say really.
Honestly, at this point, I'm not sure I would even give ICE my ID. Don't take this advice from me. Please don't. I'm just saying, like, again, in the moment, whatever you need to do to protect your own life, if you think handing over your ID is the answer to that, then perhaps that is the move. That's up to you to decide. But I'm not sure if I could reasonably hand my ID to ICE.
Nasty things to me.
I don't know if I can trust them with that.
And yeah, that man, he called me the N-word, and he called me that, and then he arrested me. They arrested me. It was multiple people. They used a lot of force to arrest me. I actually got a scab that was healing while I was in jail. But they pushed me hard. They used a lot of violence. My body still hurts. I got a concussion. It's really hard for me to speak because of that concussion. They were just using a lot of force to arrest me, and I was screaming. I was crying. I was so scared. I've never been arrested in my life.
Okay, even if she's lying, let's just say that she's lying. Let's just take Matt Walsh's word for it and say she's lying. I've seen videos of ICE doing this and worse. In fact, I've seen videos of ICE executing people in broad daylight, at least 2 of them. If I had a nickel for every time it's happened, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't much, but it is weird that it happened twice, right? I'm just saying, it lines up with the rest of the data.
It's
not like this is way far out there for ICE. Like, I believe her.
Have a criminal record. I have a clean record.
Thank you for the money, Jack Muller.
Detainment. I was detained. I was literal cuffs put on my legs, cuffs on my hands, and I was actually detained with a Native American woman. And God bless her heart, she went through a lot too. She was also detained by ICE, and she was also a U.S. citizen, and like me. And she had gashes on her face. They shattered her window.
Imagine being a Native American and getting taken by ICE. Can you okay? The soothsayers in Native America, is that racist to say? The fortune tellers in Native American cultures like could not have foreseen this. Maybe a few of them didn't. Like, there's no way. There's no way. Like there's no way that that will ever happen to us. How could it? This is, you know, we live here. It's a crazy,
she had
crazy
blood
turn
on
of
her
events.
jeans, her corduroy jeans, and she was crying because she was so scared that.
Yeah, I love how you could just see her making it up as she goes along.
Several of my friends have been abducted. Good Lord, Shakespeare. I'm sorry to hear that.
I think you'd at least have the story ready when you get up there at the press conference. It's not like you were taken by surprise here. So you'd think you'd have the story ready. You could just see her make.
First of all, she explained she had a concussion. Second of all, she's not a press figure, so not everybody knows, first of all, how to speak, period. Second of all, how to speak in front of a audience with cameras trained on you. She didn't want any of this, brother. Like, she didn't want this. What do you... Okay, let's just assume she's lying. What does she get out of it? What does she get? Do you think someone's paying her? Is she just doing this for the attention and the kudos? I'd love to hear your explanation, Matt.
Picking it up. You could see her just...
This is getting uploaded.
Inventing the story as she... Yeah, so they arrested me, and then I got a concussion. So they threw. Well, I fell, and it went up. I mean, they threw me, and I got a concussion. And then they decided that it'd be really nice to.
What was her name? Hold on, we're at 309. What was her name?
Nasra Ahmed.
Nasra Ahmed, a 23-year-old woman, U.S. citizen living in St. Paul. She said has a concussion and other injuries after being detained by ICE. Okay, so we just have her to go off of, but like, okay, here we go. St. Paul woman who is a U.S. citizen was illegally detained last week by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers, she said Wednesday at a news conference at the Minnesota Capitol. Nasra Ahmed, 23, said she had stepped out of her St. Paul apartment on January 14th when several ICE officers surrounded her and demanded her identification. She said the agents escalated the situation. Yeah, we read all this. I mean, what reason do I have to not believe her? They've done shit like this. What reason do I have to not believe her? Over you, Matt Walsh.
Nice to say racial slurs, and they did that too. Yeah, they said.
Sure, why not?
They said racial slurs. They said the N-word. They said it.
They called a woman a bitch while they killed her. After they killed her, like they killed her, and then they said bitch, and then they denied her medical care, like while she was sitting there dying.
3 times. They said it like 2.5 times, like 2.5 to 3 times, and then they picked me up and they body slammed me too, and then they cut my head off. Actually, they sewed it back on, and that's the other. So they cut it, they sewed it back on. I don't think she said that. And yeah, it was pretty tough. So I love the Band-Aid there too. I love how she's got that. It's like a nice touch, the cartoonish band. Look like a Band-Aid that a cartoon character wears. You know, when they fall over and the bump grows on their head, you know, and there's stars around their head. I guarantee you take that Band-Aid off and there's nothing under there. I mean, nothing under, like, nothing inside her skull either in terms of a brain. But I mean, there's a tiny scrape at most. And of course she has a concussion. And because having a concussion is great because there's no way to prove you don't have it. Right? There's no way. If someone... You go to the doctor and say you have concussion symptoms, then the doctor's going to ask you your symptoms, and then...
Should I even bother watching this? Because I feel like this is just going to be him saying, well, it didn't happen, it didn't happen, it didn't happen. Yeah, she could be lying, sure. I'll give him that. Sure. Is that his point, that she could be lying? Yeah, she could absolutely be lying, sure. But again, this lines up with what ICE has already done, so I just don't understand where the disconnect is.
Okay, well, I guess you have a concussion. You have the symptoms, you have a concussion, right? That's the way it could go. So it's very hard to prove you don't have one. It's just like anytime someone gets into a fender bender, if the other person's at fault, they immediately go, oh, my neck. Yeah, I got some whiplash. I don't know. Yeah, the neck really hurts. There's no way to prove it doesn't hurt. It's okay, so it hurts. And then she claims she was called the N-word, which is fascinating. It's fascinating that these ICE officers are constantly on video, constantly being recorded, and yet nobody caught that on tape. You've got mobs of people out there filming everything that these ICE officers do, waiting for this moment. That's why they're all there. Waiting for one of these guys to do something or say something explicitly racist. They're begging for it. I mean, these are what they're basically out there. They're like treasure hunters. They're like the guys with the metal detectors out on the beach.
Yeah, but like why? Like you never give a reason as to why. Do they just have a fetish for it or what? Like I don't understand.
You know, and all they ever do is find bottle caps. They're just waiting for that time when actually, oh, wow, it's like a coin from the 1840s. And it's like the Bigfoot hunter. A Bigfoot hunter is out for decades in the woods looking for Bigfoot. And then one day, Bigfoot just strolls by and waves hello, and the guy doesn't have his camera on him. And that's what it's like for the...
We've watched ICE agents kill people. I just don't think that them saying slurs is all that far out there.
These ICE agitators. They're waiting for someone in ICE to do something racist, and then they finally get the moment when an ICE officer body slams a black woman in a burqa and calls her the N-word, and they didn't get it on camera. Oh, man.
They don't always.
Talk about bad luck. Jeez. So look, this is clearly bogus. I don't believe any part of it for even a second. Because...
But again, even if it is, we just have evidence of them doing so much. I feel like I'm going in circles here, but he is too, to be fair. I think I'm done. All he's saying is, you know, we only have a minute left. Let's juice that YouTube.
Keep this in mind also. Leftists are well known for their hoaxes, as we know. And Somalis are notorious for being scam artists.
Brother, what? I'm glad I kept going. That's like just blatant racism. Like, holy shit. What are you even talking about? Excuse me? First of all, she's an American citizen. Okay, I know the skin color and the head covering may make you think otherwise, but it turns out you can, in fact, be an American citizen and have black skin and cover your head like that. All three of those things can exist at the same time, first of all. Second of all, the whole, like, Somali are notorious for being scam artists is crazy. Is they calling the woman they just murdered a bitch isn't enough? Isn't they saying, cool, this is like COD after killing a man that tried to help a woman they pushed not enough? Yeah, oh yeah, I heard about that one. Them saying that this is just like COD. It's great.
So combine those two, leftist and Somali, and it's the perfect storm of phoniness. It's like, what was it in Power Rangers, where all the Power Rangers combined to make the big super robot?
He is so bad at metaphors. I'm sorry. Like, every time he has a metaphor, he's like, what is it in like that one show where like the thing happens and then all the places and the things and shit? Brother, like, figure out how to be an entertainer.
Not the megas.
Ben Shapiro, okay, for all the shit that I give Ben Shapiro, which is rightfully deserved, that guy knows how to be entertaining. Matt Walsh does not.
Zord. This is the Megazord, right? This is the con artist mega.
Next time, just say, this is like the Megazord from Power Rangers, where all the Power Rangers combine, you know, and then they make that big giant robot thing. It's like the Megazord. Like, come on, have some Riz.
Zord. Somali, leftist, woman. You combine all that together and you've got...
Somali leftist woman? You can go further than that, brother. What about non-binary? What if she was non-binary? We don't know that she was non-binary. Nobody asked her for pronouns. Them, asterisk. Disabled. Muslim, maybe. Because she has the head covering. Why not? Just throw in all the racist stereotypes.
I'm just kidding. Not really. But you've got someone you just can't trust. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can...
Unlike me, Matt Walsh, who you can always trust. Don't trust the Somalis, though. I'm Matt Walsh. Like, again, I must stress, this is not outside the realm of what ICE has already been caught doing on video, and then some. Like, ICE is very, very bad. So even if she's completely lying, I don't care that much. Because, again, it just lines up so perfectly with everything else we've seen ICE doing. So I'm inclined to believe her. Hi, thanks so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I just wanted to let you all know that I love and appreciate everybody in my community, whether you can support me financially or just by liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. It helps way more than you know. That being said, I do want to give a very special thanks to my tier 4 subs, which would be Space Timid and Hot Take Andy. And thanks so much to my monetary subscribers from any of the tiered subs or anybody who gives me money in any form, including going to my Patreon shop, donating money to me directly. It all helps way more than you know. If you do decide to help me financially, you can get some really cool perks like early access to content, exclusive access to censored videos, also some really cool badges next to your name. Even if you can't afford a monetary subscription, just watching, sharing, and commenting on my content helps way more than you know. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.